When I was fundraising, I had many people to even say, "Oh, why do we even need something like this?" And I was like, "You really don't understand it. It's okay. They're not the right audience. They're not right, investors." I even had people because when I was working on this with my co-founder, we almost ran out of money 2 times. And I remember it was so difficult because we were so scared how we were going to continue the business. And then there were some people saying, "Hey, go back to 9-to-5 job, find a job, you can do this maybe in the future, maybe it's not a good idea." And then it was really the persistence that we had and believing that we can make an impact. And then, one day we got an email that Time said, you were selected, your robot was selected as one of the best inventions in education. And it's on the cover of Time. I remember I was crying actually.
Hi everyone, today we have an amazing guest, Elnaz Sarraf, the founder and CEO of ROYBI Robot, the world's first AI-powered smart toy to teach children language and STEM skills. She's definitely one of my favorite immigrant entrepreneurs because she has a great vision and mission behind her company, ROYBI. Elnaz, thank you so much for coming to the Immiprenuer Podcast. I'm so excited to hear all about your journey. So welcome to the show.
Hi, Mo. Thank you for having me here today. I'm quite excited to share my experience and journey with you and your audience. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words.
Awesome. No, you really deserve it. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of where you come from and when you came to the United States?
Sure, absolutely. I moved to the US about 15 years ago from Tehran. I still vividly actually remember the day that I arrived here at the airport. It was quite scary, but also quite exciting because, as you know, we're talking about 15, 20 years ago back in Iran, women didn't have the opportunities, at least they have today. I hear a lot of things have changed back in Iran. I haven't been back, so I'm excited to know that there are more opportunities now back in Iran, but I moved about 15 years ago here directly to San Jose, California. And for as long as I remember, I always wanted to take the opportunity to actually build something. And that's, how my journey really started in the entrepreneurship and in San Jose by, starting first, continuing my education and then gradually working on a couple of startup ideas, failed, learned, and then gradually all those experiences led me into founding ROYBI.
Did you move with your family or did you move alone?
So I came here with my family, but they left and I stayed here by myself. It was quite challenging. Yes, it was very challenging because, the culture is different. You don't know anybody. It was very stressful. But, when I look back, it was the best decision of my life, obviously.
Definitely, yeah. So tell us how you started your first company, iBaby, as an immigrant.
Sure. Before that, before I really get into startup environment and getting to know people and doing a lot of networking, I actually started my journey as a freelancer and consultant. While I was studying at the college, I was like going door to door, even actually giving my flyers, business cards to people, telling them I can design websites, graphics, and other things. And that really led me to build my portfolio and have a lot more experience in the business area. I remember I didn't even know how you could open a business. So I had to go to the city hall and do so many different things. And then I got introduced to my first co-founder at iBaby. Before I actually joined the team as a co-founder and president, they had their manufacturing in China and they were trying to build a brand in the US. and they really didn't have anybody. So it took like about a month or two of conversations. And then I started the US headquarters, and, fast forward, we got into like all Apple stores. Everybody thought iBaby products are actually from Apple, which was quite exciting. And we became one of the most wanted baby monitors in the world, being in over 10,000 storefronts worldwide. And again, we really built a strong product and audience behind it.
Amazing. So how about the ROYBI Robots? Could you tell us a little bit about your current company, ROYBI Robots, and how you come up with this brilliant idea to help kids, basically?
Right. I think one of the reasons is, aside from my own passion in education and, all the experience I have growing up, learning different skills, I think one of the motivations behind it was also being able to really communicate with parents through my interaction at iBaby. I had really the opportunity to work with parents and understand their needs and concerns. And education was always something that they would ask, what's next? I wanted to do this as part of the iBaby business, but it really didn't make sense business-wise, because there were totally different business models. And, my co-founder and I had different ideas about it. So I decided to separate, and it wasn't an easy decision, but again, another best decision I made. I left iBaby, started with my current co-founder. He's a great friend of mine. We worked even together at my previous company at iBaby, and a few people also followed us because they really believed in the mission, which is to utilize advanced technology to focus on children's abilities and interests rather than one size fits all. So we ended up, building our own AI engine and putting it in this robot.
I love this, actually.
Yes,
could you back with ROYBI right now so we see how it works?
Hopefully it works. So the way that it works, first of all, we focus on speech and voice recognition. Currently, we have 3 languages, English, Chinese, and Spanish, adding French, and also German. So it is interactive. Let me get to the app, but also it comes with an application that, parents, educators can select different lessons. Let me see which one.
I believe it's really helpful even for immigrants who come to this country with their kids.
Absolutely.
And
yes,
they don't know, especially in Iran, that, the children usually don't know how to speak English early on. So I think it's really helpful to them as well.
We have different types of audience, which is quite interesting. So we do have people that they use ROYBI to learn English as second language. We have another type of audience that they just use it for language learning and STEM activities. Another one, we have a lot of audience, customers that they have special needs like autism, they have speech disorder, and we've heard that ROYBI has been quite helpful. So let me play one lesson.
Hello, my friend. Welcome, how do you do? I'm so glad to see you. Let's talk more about the planets and learn their names. In the solar system, we have 8 planets. They're all around the sun. They are all smaller than the sun. One of them is Earth. Let's learn the names of the other 7 planets. The closest planet to the sun is Mercury. I say it again, and then it's your turn. Say Mercury.
Mercury.
I say it first, and then your turn. Mercury. Say Mercury.
Mercury.
You got it. Connect.
Oh, it's amazing, actually. I wish I had one of these.
It goes on, and it also understands, if I say it incorrectly or my pronunciation is wrong, it encourages me to actually repeat, and then it actually
between Mercury and Earth.
See, it didn't recognize what I said. It is repeating, but the good thing about it is, it asks the child to repeat and then records those, and later on, it also comes back to the lessons that the child couldn't pronounce well.
Beautiful. It's amazing.
And the engine is specifically designed for kids. So our voice recognition engine, which we actually have a utility patent for it, is designed only for children because the way they talk is so different. And, the variations of the words, yellow, wellow, bellow, they say
really
things
helpful.
very
I'm
differently.
telling you, because I have 2 kids, and I know that's really helpful, especially early on. Especially if you're busy parents,
Yes, exactly. So it's really easy to use it. There's a small button underneath the hat, so they can just press it. It goes, to different lessons, and then there's a report that parents can see. You don't see because I haven't used my ROYBI. I should practice more. Pronunciation scores, progress, and here it also shows. I think you can see vocabularies, that the child couldn't pronounce well, or the ones that they pronounce better, improvement scores, and some suggestions.
Amazing. You have stated that you want to see every child in the world holding a ROYBI robot in their hands. And I love that because you have a great cause and ambition behind your success as an immigrant. So my next question is, what challenges did you face early on as a woman and as an immigrant when you started ROYBI, and how did you overcome these challenges, especially in tech space?
Right. Very good question. A lot of challenges, I wouldn't say it's necessarily being in tech space or like being an immigrant, but I think, coming to a new country, you don't know a lot of people, you don't have a lot of connections. Definitely it makes it more difficult. Like I didn't have a lot of connections in the VC world, and finding investors for a product that at that point we didn't even have the prototype, and all we were selling was the team's vision, the team's capabilities, and it made it very, very difficult. Of course, we raised 4.2 million, but maybe it could have been done faster. I don't know, but until we make the connections, and especially with the early investors, there has to be some sort of warm introduction. Otherwise, it's really difficult to get them to talk to you. Even if they talk to you, it's really hard for them to trust because they get thousands of requests every month, right? So standing out is really difficult. I think my biggest challenge personally was that on the fundraising side. Aside from that, I have to say I've got a lot of support from so many people, even Persian community, Iranian community, which I'm truly grateful for. And still, ongoing challenges in business every day.
We are really grateful to have you in our community.
Thank you.
So you won multiple prestigious entrepreneur awards in a short period of time as an immigrant, and even ROYBI was featured on a cover of Time magazine twice, not just once, as one of the best invention in the world. How did you achieve this level of success?
Persistence and really believing in what you are doing. When I was fundraising, I had many people to even say, "Oh, why do we even need something like this. And I was like, you really don't understand it. It's okay. They're not the right audience. They're not right, investors. I even had people, because when I was working on this with my co-founder, we almost ran out of money 2 times. and I remember it was so difficult because we were so scared how we were going to continue the business. And then there were some people saying, hey, go back to 9-to-5 job, find a job, you can do this maybe in the future, maybe it's not a good idea. And then it was really the persistence that we had and believing that we can make an impact. And then, one day we got an email that Time said, you were selected, your robot was selected as one of the best inventions in education. It's on the cover of Time. I remember I was crying, actually.
Oh, of course. I can imagine that, actually. It's amazing. Did you have any mentors early on as an immigrant?
Yes, many mentors, actually. A lot of them are great friends. And even our current investor, one of them, he's Persian. And I always say everywhere that I'm so grateful to him. And I always look up to him because he's a very successful entrepreneur, business owner in many, many different things.
Can you mention his name?
No.
No, okay.
We have
That's
confidentiality clause.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
Yeah, he's a very silent investor, so we respect that. But he's a very respectful entrepreneur here in Silicon Valley. But also many other mentors, that they really helped me to shape the vision. When we started, the whole idea was totally different. And then having mentors, advisors, even going out, talking to people really helped us to build the product we have today, which is, amazing. And I think if we didn't listen to all those advice, we would have failed.
So do you think having an early mentor or coach would be shortcut for new immigrants looking to start their business?
Possibly, yes, because a lot of those people, they've been through all the ups and downs of business. They have a lot of experience they can share with you. You don't have to necessarily do exactly what they say, but listen to advice, because I always think if somebody gives you an advice, they care about your success, what you're building. And that's really important. You can make the final decision, what to do in your business. But to me, having mentors, coaches, and advisors were truly helpful. Even to this day.
Of course. In what ways are you supporting other immigrant entrepreneurs?
I try to be involved in the community as much as possible. I'm a mentor in a few accelerators, and I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn and different areas, people asking me questions. I try my best to get back to them as many as I can, unfortunately, limited time.
Of course.
And I also try to make introductions whenever possible. If I can help in any way, I always do, because I always believe, when I got to this point, I got a lot of support and help from many people.
Beautiful. What are the most important skills immigrants need to gain in order to be successful?
Hard to say. But I think, the ability to connect to people and ability to listen to people, I think those skills are really important. Many other skills, like learning how to use a software, you can learn that skill by just watching some videos, right? But being open to creating connections, I think it's really important. At least every time, for example, we went to a conference or a meetup, we started talking to people, we learned different things. And I think those skills are really important. And being able to also lead the team in a way that they feel they're part of the company and vision, I think that's really important. Every individual can be a leader within their respective industry and responsibilities.
What a powerful journey. Elnaz, thanks so much for sharing that. Let's switch gears a bit now and move to the present, where our audience of immigrants want to get the kind of results that you've achieved. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions about what you would do if you had to start all over again right now from scratch and strive to duplicate your past results. If you had to start all over again with your current knowledge and experience in today's world, with today's tools, time constraints, and other factors, what would you do differently?
To be honest, I wouldn't change anything because, the experience I gained is really because of the process I went through, the knowledge I have today, obviously I didn't have 10 years ago. And it's all because of the things, all the ups and downs, lessons, failures, and the success, I wouldn't change a thing.
Thank you. I'm really inspired by your answer, actually. So, the day-to-day routine is fundamental for entrepreneurs in terms of high productivity and a healthy lifestyle. So can you take us to your typical day in your life and tell us what you do exactly from start to finish? What would you do when you first open your eyes in the morning? What you have for the breakfast? How you start your business, and basically how your day-to-day looks like.
I don't think I'm the best example because, most of my time is spent on working and, responding to people. But day starts easily 6:30 in the morning. The first thing is go through the priority emails, and then I check some important messages from, my team, because we have some priority channels, we check those. And then start with breakfast, normally a fruit bowl or cereal, something simple. And then the rest of it really goes towards meeting. It could be 1 hour sales meeting, another product, another one could be just investor meetings. So it could be like different ways, different things on a daily basis, and then goes on a lot of times even until 10 to 11 at night, because we have team members.
You're so busy.
So we have team members in different regions like India, China, and
you have to communicate with those team members as well. Oh my God.
So that's why I don't think I'm the best example of, keeping the balance, but I try to keep the balance at least over the weekend, if possible. Sometimes not.
No, because your vision is really, inspiring. Because if you want to see your ROYBI Robot in the hands of every children in the world, you have to work so hard to be able to,
Not just me. I also give credit to my team as many times as I can, because honestly, I couldn't be here without my team. And I always take the credit because I'm in the front line, but it makes a huge difference when you have a team that they trust you, they believe in you, and they're always by your side. So it makes a huge difference.
What meetups, local entrepreneur events, and accelerators do you recommend that have helped you grow?
Different types of groups. Like, for example, I'm currently on the board of Consumer Technology Association. But when I started, we started as a member a few years ago. I remember even the first day, they even tried to help me find mentors. The CTA is the organization behind CES, which is the largest conference in the world in technology. So they help us a lot, especially with mentors, with some media exposure. So I do recommend people to take a look at that. And then some other accelerators in the education space, that I'm familiar with, like one of them, Amazon, EdStart Accelerator. They've been so helpful that I can't even put in words. It's like they're an extension of our company. So any education tech company could actually reach out to them, and I'm happy to make introductions, and of course a few more in education space mostly.
Thank you so much. I'll make sure to get the link to those recommendations. Let's talk about one of the most important areas of your business, which is marketing. Do you remember how you found your first few clients, and basically what strategies you use to market your current company?
Yes, I can remember exactly how it started. It was quite stressful, actually, because we decided to launch our crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. And I remember we started pretty much 5 months before the actual launch date. So we started, putting up campaigns, creating sign-up landing pages, and we did a lot of work on social media, especially on Facebook, to acquire users. And the most stressful part of that process is you end up collecting like 100,000 or 200,000 audience, but maybe even less than 1% converts, and it's ongoing effort to retain these people. So when we launched the first day, it was quite well. And within our category, STEM, which is a very small category on Indiegogo, we are one of the well-funded and successful campaigns on there. And then we started some PR, and that really helped to push the sales.
Perfect. How did you raise funding for ROYBI? Is it bootstrapping, or did you,
So the first about 1.5 years, I bootstrapped the company. It was just me and my co-founder. And then gradually we started building the company. We raised a very small amount, and it was mainly talking to angel investors here in Silicon Valley. And as I mentioned before, eventually the ones that worked, they were all based on warm introductions. So we knew some people, they reached out to their connections, and that's how
the power of networking, right?
It is, yes. That's why I keep saying, be open to networking. But this round that we've been doing fundraising, we will have some interesting announcements soon.
Nice.
Yes.
So looking forward to it.
Quite different. Thank you. That was quite different because maybe it was because of pandemic, because we started reaching out to investors on LinkedIn, some other platforms. They were so open to take our calls, and we actually onboarded a few investors without even meeting them in person.
No, it's really hard.
Things have changed, which is a good thing, actually.
Thanks for sharing that. What books, podcasts, or blog would you recommend Immipreneurs read to help them with their business or life?
It's generally hard for me to recommend like specific, books or channels. Personally, I don't have a lot of time to read books. So what I do is when I go to bed, I spend like 30 minutes on short YouTube videos. I watch different things. Business, finance, even history. It really helps me to understand.
Is there a specific channel that you think it's valuable?
I could send over a list, but there are quite a few, like in finance. One, Graham Stephan, I watch his channel. He has like almost, 3 million followers. He talks a lot about stock market, some business size. Yes, I really like that. And a few also in like even crypto space. I'm a big fan of Web3 and blockchain.
Beautiful. So we'll get to that question as well. Many immigrant entrepreneurs hesitate to seek help when they start their business and they want to handle everything on their own. And I believe this is one of the reasons they fail early on in their business. What do you think? What do you think about this?
I think everybody goes through that phase. Even myself, when I came here, it was like almost like proving to myself I can do it. So I wanted to do everything by myself. I remember some people were joking, Elnaz wants to just do everything by herself. And then I gradually learned, I have to delegate some work to other people, trust that other people will do as I do, or even more passionately, or even better. I think it takes time, and everybody goes through the same phase. But at some point you realize you have to change that.
But sometimes finding the right people is really challenging.
Yes.
What's your way of hunting talent?
Many different ways. And to be honest, most of the people that we work with them today, they were all referrals by other people or organizations. That's why I say it's really good to be part of some organizations, like, for example, CTA or some accelerators, because they can really help you connect to the right people. And then those people can help you with referrals. But other than that, now we have 15 open positions. We posted them on LinkedIn and different other platforms. I guess we just need to have faith in people and then listen to them and see the passion. And those are really important. If they don't have exactly the right skills, still it's okay. We can train them.
Do you think LinkedIn is the right platform to reach out to, potential candidates?
Oh, yes. We use LinkedIn a lot. We built partnerships. We met VCs and investors through LinkedIn. We got pretty good candidates, high quality candidates. I'm not saying working with agencies is good or bad. I don't know. For me, I personally like to give opportunity to people on all kinds of platforms rather than just staying in a small group and just work with agencies. We also work with agencies as well, but I wouldn't say which one is better, but LinkedIn definitely is very helpful.
Beautiful. Let's move on to the question section, which is this or that round, and this is the quick response around 10 questions. Just one rule here. Try not to think about the answer too much. Are you ready?
Ready?
Hire fast or fire fast?
Fire fast.
Toronto or Silicon Valley?
Oh, I live in Silicon Valley. I go with that.
Sell to one or sell to many?
Sell to one.
Instagram or LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
Physical book or audiobook?
Audiobook.
Angel investor or bootstrapping?
Bootstrapping.
Podcast or YouTube?
YouTube.
Invest in real estate or digital currency?
Digital currency.
NFT or metaverse?
Metaverse. It could be pretty much same thing, by the way.
Okay. We'll get that.
Because Metaverse has a lot of NFTs anyways. All the assets are NFTs.
You're right. It's, sometimes it's...
but it's a bigger picture.
You're right. Data science or AI?
That's how they're all related.
No,
you need data scientists to build the AI.
Yeah, but you should choose one if you want to choose one. One of them.
Data science, so then we can build the AI engine.
Okay, perfect. Virtual event or physical event?
Oh, that one is hard. Physical, in person.
Remote working or in office working?
There's no in between. I go with remote.
Okay. Why did you choose remote over physical, in person?
So this is interesting. 3 years ago, I was 100% against remote work because I felt it was so much work and with the communication and everything. But now, after pandemic, we built a structure to support remote, hybrid, in person, and there's so many talented people from all around the world that now we could hire because we have the structure in place. But we always try to somehow meet in person, different event conferences as much as we can.
You're my first interviewee who choose digital currency over real estate. Why is that?
Real estate is a safe investment, and for me, as someone that likes to take risks, I actually have a pretty strong portfolio of cryptocurrencies and digital asset investments. And it is something that ROYBI is, shifting its focus gradually towards that. And again, we are going to have some very cool announcements starting mid-May towards June, and you will see. Yes. But I feel it's truly the future of a lot of different things, from transactions to technology. So I'm quite excited to see how it goes.
If you want to explain metaverse for our audience, in one paragraph. Can you do that for us?
One paragraph? I think people overthink what metaverse is. Metaverse existed even before Facebook or Meta, made huge announcements, and Microsoft. Growing up, I remember I was playing this game Sims, and I still hear people playing it. It's a metaverse, we had real life and so many things. So the way that I see metaverse, again, it's kind of like a replica of the real world, but you can do a lot more. You can be a different person, have different job, focus, interest, and everything in the metaverse that you can't really do in the real world, and makes it really exciting. What worries me is if people are going to really kind of combine this in a way that they take risk in the real world that they should not. Like, let's say they're jumping from a building, a teenager, and they think if they jump from a building in the real world, they'll survive.
You're right. Especially when I, see my kids playing with Roblox.
Oh, yes, all the time.
Sometimes I'm really worried about those, situations.
Yes. But then it comes to educating the audience, what's really possible, what's not. But again, everybody makes their own decisions. But I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of crazy things happening in the metaverse.
That's why we need you, entrepreneurs to address these issues.
I hope so. Because there's a lot of opportunity behind it. It's just that, we really need to take the time to educate people. And that's what we want to do with ROYBI, to bring this knowledge base or education to the audience that they don't have enough knowledge about metaverse and they're scared about it. It's not scary. We just need to learn more.
Thank you.
Sure.
Let's move on to the $10,000 question. So if I was to give you $10,000 and you had to spend over the next few days on a single thing to grow your business, what would you spend it on, and how would you measure success? It's not a large amount of money. It's just $10,000.
No, it's not. But you can do a lot of things these days with even spending less than that. I would spend probably on content creation equipment and put some portion of that on the promotion, because content is king, truly. And now we have so much opportunity to create unique content, and every person, every business is so unique. So I would really spend it on that. We actually do that here at ROYBI.
I love your answer.
Different channels, yes. And I think I would spend on equipment and then do a lot of content creation and then promote my business like that. And you don't really need that much money to do promotions. A lot of followers and stuff happen just organically.
You're my first interviewee again.
It's good to be different.
Perfect. Let's do business together.
Sure.
$10,000 is a lot for you. Impressive. Okay. If you were to write a book about yourself, how would you name it?
Building the dream.
Building the dream. I'll definitely order your book. I like that. Building the dream. Okay.
Seriously.
If you had a magic stick, what are the 3 things you would change in the world?
It's hard to say, but when I think about all the things happening in the world, I truly hope that we had the opportunity to change people's lives in different ways. It could be education, it could be giving them more opportunities. There's some even very talented people around the world. They just don't have the opportunities or the platform to really show their skills. So I would say I use it to change people's lives in different ways, from education to health, to like giving them opportunities, a platform to express themselves openly, not in a way that a lot of enterprises do. Like, for example, Facebook or Instagram, technically Facebook, has full power and decides what people should say, should do, ban their accounts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Giving opportunity to people.
I think we need to support Elon Musk.
Not so much. He's definitely my hero when it comes to making impossible things possible. But on some other things, I don't know. He says free speech, but again, I don't know.
I think you purchased Twitter.
Yes, of course, in the name of free speech. But again, we will see how that's going to turn out.
We'll see that, exactly.
Eventually, it's an investment, you always have to think about it. It's an investment eventually.
Yeah, exactly. What advice do you have to help motivate immigrant entrepreneurs to get started or take their business to the next level?
I would say believe in yourself, being an immigrant or not immigrant, even native people, everybody experiences a lot of ups and downs and difficulties when it comes to building a business. I think we as immigrants are a little bit shy, or maybe, again, we don't have the right connections. We think it will be more difficult, but not really. Just believe in yourself, be persistent, and move towards your goals. And again, your dreams, there's so much opportunity, utilizing a lot of tools available to us today that we didn't even have like 10 years ago.
Brilliant. How can our listeners purchase ROYBI for their kids?
My favorite question. We are on major retailers like Amazon, Sam's Club, iBaby, Best Buy. But my favorite place would be our website, which is ROYBIRobot.com, ROYBI Robot.com.
I'll make sure to include the link in the show notes.
Thank you. And they can use a coupon 30 today to get $30 off just for your audience.
Perfect. Thank you so much for
absolutely
giving us the opportunity to purchase your amazing product at a discount rate. I really so how can our listeners connect with you online?
Best way is LinkedIn. I'm very responsive, but sometimes, again, because of limited time, I may not be able to get back to everybody, but I try my best.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming and inspiring all the immigrant entrepreneurs listening. And I'm so honored to share your story. I wish you all the best of success and hope to stay connected.
Thank you again for having me and ROYBI. And once again, thank you for the opportunity. And I wish you continued success as well as your audience.
Thank you so much.